Indie social media is so awesome!
Imagine browsing social media that wasn't ran by big companies and algorithms. Maybe there'd be a personal feeling site that put artistic integrity over trends, like newgrounds.com. Or maybe a small team would revive your favorite old social platform, like Sudomemo did with Flipnote Hatena. And indie teams would also have the room to try fresh ideas in ways corporations would never, like with nightlight.cz or even like glomble.com. See, a corporation would never make a site like this. It's too ugly, too nasty, no friends, no money, which is beautiful. Yeah, indie sites are cool because they're like more human. So a nice change of pace from the corporate social medias that are robotic and evil. But humans can be kind of evil sometimes too. Ever consider this? Like in my last video about this topic, I was very starry-eyed and so excited about indie social media that I glossed over the darker elements of this underground side of the internet and the potential risks that there are. Such risks that are probably pretty important to go over, especially for people who are only used to the algorithmically safe and sanitized sites like the one you're watching this video on.
Hello, YouTube viewers, I see you.
See, unlike corporate social media, indie sites are not billion-dollar tech companies, and in a lot of cases just ran by some hobbyist amateur programmer. As such, we can't always hold these sites to the same standards of like site upkeep, fixing things when they break, or having expensive algorithms or legion of moderators to regularly remove harmful content. And that's definitely not to say that all indie sites are like poorly built and broken and abandoned. Indie social media just means these platforms could be independently ran by anyone. This includes the sites of people like the Newgrounds team, who are veteran site developers with decades of experience. But it also includes the indie site of the 16-year-old who just finished watching their first web development tutorial video. And that's not a bad thing, it's cool that indie developers, no matter their skill level, want to make things. It's just that when a site is known to have some vulnerabilities, it makes it a prime target for people who want to do evil shit. People will abuse indie social medias to spam and post gore and bigoted stuff. I've heard stories of harassment and grooming on some of these sites, and BitView, the old YouTube revival, actually had a data breach in 2024, which exposed a bunch of people's emails and passwords and stuff. But that was before I joined, so
you'll never catch me.
But you might catch me. So this is why we have to practice online safety. You guys, are you excited?
No.
You can never know just by a first glance which sites online might be the target of malicious actors. I mean, even mainstream social media sites occasionally experience all that bad stuff I just mentioned. So we probably should just practice online safety all the time, but especially for the indie web. Like when I'm making an account for a cool new indie social media platform I've just found, I take a few safety precautions, step by step. Step 1. Investigate the site's reputation. Maybe I poke around a little bit, see if anyone has anything bad to say about it elsewhere online. Because I remember several years ago, I first found out about the concept of an indie revival site through an old retro-looking YouTube revival I found. Not BitView, a different one. And I thought it was so cute how it looked old and how everyone was playing along with the retro Y2K aesthetic. So I quickly made an account to join in on the fun, only to realize that there was some really horrible and gross videos posted on there. And so I thought, surely these will be removed by the owner soon. They just haven't gotten to it yet. And in most cases, this is correct. Most developers don't want hateful content on their site. But I dug a little deeper and yeah, I guess the owner was just racist. So always thoroughly investigate a site before joining it. Step 2. Use an email and password you would be comfortable having leaked. The idea is to plan for the worst and hope for the best. So use a throwaway email address or one that's already publicly attached to you. And use some random ass letters or something as your password. A lot of browsers can automatically generate and save them for you, so just do that. When you make sure that your account details are leakable, in the horrible event that it does happen, it really won't be the end of the world. So if there's any hacker people watching this video, you can just take any of my social media accounts if you're skilled enough. You know, I wouldn't really mind if you stole my Spacey account because there's not really anything else you can do with that information. So if you can get in there, I say you've earned it. Step 3, be careful about what you post. I think people have gotten a lot more laissez-faire with giving up their privacy online, me included. And you know, while I might be past the point of no return, thousands of people already know my face, voice, name, city, my opinions. Oh God, it's not too late for you. Nobody knows who the hell you are. So it needs to be a deliberate, thought-out decision when you post in a way that exposes anything about yourself. And if you're a teenager, then you should double think it out to make up for how stupid you are. Always err on the side of caution and don't get too personal on these sites, even in direct messages. And then you should be good. Step 4! Leave when you're uncomfortable. I know that you don't want to abandon all your awesome poop.social follows, but if someone is posting in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's no good. And you should log off. Your mental and emotional well-being is way more important than the approval from internet strangers. Unless you're a YouTuber, at which point you stop feeling. But these 4 steps are really important and should ensure that your explorations on the indie web are deliberate and safe. Making sure that you are investigating these websites first, using leakable account details, being careful of what you post, and leaving when you're uncomfortable, this will all contribute to a more stress-free time when exploring the occasionally scary moments of indie social media. It's the Ulbul method. Really rolls off the tongue and means love in Lithuanian, I guess. This is news to me.
You blow.
Whether or not having to prepare for all these bad things is worth it is totally up to you. But I happen to think it is. Most indie social media devs are super cool and just trying their best. And I think their hard work really shows and makes for vibrant communities that scream fun. You know, a lot of the comments on my last video were telling me all about these other indie social media sites, and they're all just so cool. I learned about Nightlight, which I mentioned before, and it's a unique take on a microblogger where you have to level up and stuff, like gaming. I don't know, it's really, really cool, but also a little intimidating because it's very for furries. And
Despite how I look,
I'm not really a furry, so I feel a little left out, but that's okay because I still get to look at this gorgeous web design, which is some of the best I've ever seen for a social platform. In direct contrast, you guys also told me about Glomble, which has some of the ugliest web design I've ever seen. You know, I'll say it, this hideous, disgusting piece of shit is so awesome. Big Glomble fan, 2 thumbs up for Glomble. And while I'm not gonna have time to talk about and make accounts for every indie social media site you guys have told me about, there is somewhere your suggestions would really be appreciated. See, someone I met on BitView is actually working on a project that catalogs various indie social media sites and seeks to hopefully streamline the process of finding good ones. Introducing the Nyanline Web Directory. And there's already so many on here, but the idea is that you can directly suggest links to be added to the directory. Isn't that so cool? This directory not only seeks to make indie sites more accessible and discoverable, but also aims to help with that first part of ILBL, the investigation step. You know, there's planned to be user ratings and stuff, so if a site is especially dangerous, then that can hopefully be reflected here at some point. I don't know, but I guess to wrap up with this video, it's My intention with this video really wasn't to trample all over the excitement we were having for indie social media in the last video. It's more so just that I felt like I had painted an incomplete picture, because like so many of you guys in the comments were reporting having issues with this site or that site or the other, and I didn't want to come across like I was ignoring or brushing over you guys' negative experiences, because indie social media can be scary sometimes, but it's also fun most of the time, and you can increase the odds of it being fun if you practice internet safety. Okay, bye.
Yeah!